Hi, I'm Purple Rain, coach of the Baltimore Buzzwolves in the VBL-S, and this is the first week of playoffs. I am up against the Boca Raton Bellibolts, coached by Co Damron. Uh, he's a coach I really respect. He's really innovative, very smart. Um, this is his first season in the VBLS, similar to me, but he has some more draft experience than I do, and he's someone I've started talking to throughout this season, and he's a really creative, really smart team builder. Really respect him. His play has gotten better. I think he's really good. So this should be a fun week. A fun week. We talked about playing an exhibition match after the season, but it looks like this is basically it. So uh, we'll see how it goes. This is our team. These are our teams. Uh, uh, you'll notice that his team is pretty slow on average, at least compared to mine. With the exception of Iron Moth and then Salamence. But even that, I have Fluttermane, who can be faster than both. Iron Moth obviously can be booster speed, but it has to sacrifice on a good amount of special attack to do that. And if it's booster speed, then Flutter, it still doesn't match if Flutter is booster speed. So that is something to consider. Then there's also there's also Salamence, who is 2 points faster than my Hydreigon, which is an important matchup to notice because obviously two dragon types going at it. And then a lot of just other relatively slow Pokemon for my opponent. Yeah, so this is their team. They have it's important to have good fire coverage against my opponent because they're weak to fire moves, ground moves. The ground weakness is fake, I think, because it's including Tadbulb or whatever its name is, which just isn't a Pokemon. Although it's important for Iron Moth still. Um, and then the rock weakness is real. And important to take advantage of because like Iron Moth, Salamence, and Cloyster are all very legitimate Pokemon that I could expect to be coming. Um, yeah, so that is the basic rundown of what I think his team is and how I should view the matchup. Okay, so normally I like to do a thing where I go over like the Pokemon I expect to come, uh, but honestly, I have no idea. I just do not have a way of even guessing. And that comes down to a couple things. One, Kodamarin, like I said before, so creative in his team building. I would I would be very confident in saying that he will bring something I would never guess in a million years. Uh, and also, there are like a lot of his Pokemon, for example, Wo-Chien, are both really good and not that good into me. Wo-Chien is good because I don't have a ton of great ways of answering it. Being on the field, like I just don't have a great way of dealing with it. But it doesn't do much into me because I'm not a very physically offensive team. So like it can snarl and it can be annoying, but it's not really stopping my game plan long term, I don't think. It's really just being a late game nuisance um, that I can't deal with well. Uh, so like there's Wo-Chan's an example, and then a couple of his other Pokemon, like Scizor, really good into Fluttermane, except for the fact that I have Psychic Terrain as an option, which makes Scizor way worse. Um, and anyways, the one thing I would expect, or at least need to be prepared for, is him bringing Trick Room, because his Trick Room mode is significantly better than mine. Fungus is good into me. Uh, the squirrel thing I've forgotten the name of is good into me, uh, and Bellibolt, and there are a bunch of Pokemon that he can bring in Trick Room that I just don't have super great ways of dealing with. So that being said, this is my team: Flutter, Hydreigon, Orthworm, Drifblim, Indeedee, and Donphan. Fluttermane is interesting, so I decided to to just make Fluttermane outspeed max speed Salamence, and not go for the outspeeding Iron Moth. Especially not outspeeding booster speed Iron Moth. And there's a couple reasons for that. One, I'm not even sure Iron Moth like comes into my team this game. Like, I don't know if it's that good of a matchup. And Kodameron doesn't seem to like Iron Moth that much, so I wouldn't be shocked if he just doesn't bring it. And I didn't want to invest in booster speed in general. It just didn't seem like it has that much value, especially if Trick Room is an option that I expect my opponent to go for. That being said, I do expect a Jolly Salamence, or maybe a Choice Scarf, but really I expect a max speed Jolly Salamence. So it can always so the theory is it will always outspeed my Hydreigon. So that's why I've EV'd this Fluttermane to survive Iron Head from a Jolly Salamence. And that's why I have defense EVs and not HP. So I could still do that and then have good special attack and be modest. And then, so my Fluttermane should still do a bunch of damage and it'll survive more physical hits than you'd expect. I've got some strong stabs on Fluttermane with Shadow Ball and Moonblast, obviously Protect. Booster Energy is boosting the special attack. And then Mystical Fire is really good because, as I mentioned before, my opponent has a fire weakness, and it's good against Scizor especially. And the Terra is good if I ever lose the Psychic Terrain, or Psychic Terrain isn't up and Flutter is out against Scizor. Now there's Hydreigon. Hydreigon is really interesting in this matchup because, as I said, Salamence is 2 points faster than it, so it can never outspeed Salamence except with a Choice Scarf. So I've opted for a Choice Scarf. Originally, this Hydreigon was going to just outspeed Salamence, so it had like 16 speed EVs or something, maybe like even lower than that, or it was meant to outspeed Iron Moth, I forget, just outspeed everything. But then I figured, with Iron Moth booster potentially being boosted speed, and with Salamence or anything, just the potential to be scarfed to try to outspeed Fluttermane, I figured I should just outspeed. I should outspeed anything that's trying to speed creep Fluttermane without booster speed. So that's what I've done. This is now, I think, 3 points faster or 2 points faster than max speed Fluttermane. It has U-turn because my opponent has trapping in Gothorita. Snarl for damage mitigation. Draco's a strong stab, and Flamethrower, as I mentioned before, good coverage. The Poison Terra is just because Poison is a generally good defensive Terra type, especially on Hydreigon. The only Pokemon that really scares it then is Gothorita, and because I have Snarl and not Dark Pulse, my Hydreigon doesn't have a good way of dealing with Gothorita, but also Kodameron often does not run Psychic moves on it. There's, I think, more likely to this week than other weeks because I have run Poison Terra so often on Hydreigon, and also because I have the Psychic terrain, so I think it's not unlikely that Psychic terrain that my opponent runs a Psychic move, but if they don't, then the Poison Terra is fantastic. And if they do, then it's not the best, but it's still really good overall. Speaking of Poison Terra, I brought Orthworm. So I have 244 HP EVs, so I have an even HP number that Citrus Berry, so that Citrus Berry will go off if I Shed Tail or if I just happen to take what is an exact 2-hit KO. And then I put the rest in max special defense, boosted with special defense boosting nature. And then 12 points in speed. Those 12 points in speed are to outspeed Scizor if it has no speed investment, which I think is definitely possible. And if that is the case, then hey, it's not going to be taking a close combat or something, which is nice. And so and then the set, like the moves, is very standard for Orthworm. Iron Defense, Body Press, Shed Tail, and then Protect, because it's a defensive Pokemon. but it might soak up some hits, especially if my opponent is expecting a Shed Tail. My third Pokemon I'm bringing is Driftblim. It's this week. It's entirely a speed control machine. It's faster than Booster Energy Iron Moth, Booster Speed. Helping Hand put some pressure out, and then otherwise it's Tailwind, Trick Room, Imprison. Imprisoning Tailwind and Trick Room might be important, specifically Trick Room, because as I mentioned before, my opponent will be slower than me most of the time. And Tailwind is just good to have in case my opponent wants to go fast. But knowing Kodameron, I think that's unlikely. I think he knows I can win the Speed War if we just try to go fast. But it's there in case. Then I have Indeedee. Indeedee is interesting here. Psychic Surge is essential because I'm bringing Driftblim, and because I think it's good into Scizor for my Flutter Mane. Focus Sash helps it live a turn. Hyper Voice and Psychic for big damage, especially because it's modest. Terra Grass, so it can't be spored, Leech Seeded, anything like that. Encore is really good because, as I said before, my opponent's team is pretty slow. And then this Indeedee is made to outspeed base 70 speed Pokemon. And I think something else, because 135 outspeeds base 70 speed Pokemon, but 136, I think there was one other reason. I don't know. Maybe it was just a speed creep. Anything that Kodameron did to try to like just be above the thing that's outspeeding max speed or outspeeding stuff that's trying to outspeed base 70s. Anyways, so this is the Indeedee set that I've brought. Donphan. Donphan's pretty simple here. Earthquake is really good. Ice Shard is good into Salamence. Firefang is good into Scizor. I hate running Firefang because of the chance to miss, and it's not a strong move except into Scizor. But it's good in that specific case. And Fissure is my final move with Terra Grass to try to be an endgame answer to Wo-Chien. I don't think it's a good answer, but I think it is an answer. And it'll help give me, and Fissure can also just give me random outs, right? I don't love playing the Fissure game, but it's something. And now it's game time. So I'm going to just finish up everything, get ready, and I will be back with the game in a minute. Okay, so this is the matchup. Game 1. Challenge. Game 2. Okay, so this is the matchup. Now time to look at it. So I was right, there's no Iron Moth. That's very interesting. This team is faster than I expected, and no Gothorita is also interesting. So there's no Trick Room on this team. Makes me think I just don't need Driftblim at all. I think Indeedee Flutter is really good here. Donphan in the back and Hydreigon in the back too. Yeah, I like that start. So Hydreigon is to be an answer for Mence, and as just a good and answer into Poltegeist. Donphan is a Wo-Chien answer, and also Earthquake is good into Bellibolt, and just generally pretty good. Firefang into Scizor. I like this matchup, I think. This is, I think, what I want to see, although Cloyster's scary here, to be honest. Wo-Chien is also scary here, for sure. But I can kind of afford to, I think, play this pretty slow. scouting out for moves with protects. Because I don't think they're gonna have a lot of setup, although it's because Encore makes setup really weird, especially on a Pokemon that has Psychic Terrain. Uh, so now it's just time to wait and see. I have to think. Salamence should be Intimidate. I would think. Also with Indeedee, there's Indeedee Flutter, Scizor, Poltegeist. I think I just want to Psychic and Mystical Fire the Scizor. Because I can't afford to let them set up Trick Room if Scizor's going to also be alive. So I think I like that. But there's always the option to Hyper Voice, and that only hits Scizor. Well, might as well just Psychic Scizor then. The only so I'm concerned about a Protect from Scizor or a Terra from Scizor. Uh, Scizor its only Steel move has to be Bullet Punch, right? If I'm wrong about that, that's bad. But I'm pretty confident. So if I just Psychic Tea Time and Mystical Fire, Pow Pow, I think that's good. Scizor could be like Focus Sash. Could be some protects here, but if there are protects, that's also good with me because I have Encore. I can punish that pretty heavily. It's Terra Water. Protect from Poltegeist. Okay. Iron Head. Okay. So I now do know that he has Iron Head. I should have just protected Flutter. But okay. I can Encore Tea Time and then Draco Scizor. Let me see what Draco does to Scizor. Hydreigon, Scizor, level 50, Terra, Water, Draco 81 to 96, assuming pretty high HP investment, which I wouldn't expect has more than that, so we can just Draco into that. I feel Encore into Poltegeist, Draco into Pow Pow should be good, although let me Flutter Mane, Mystical Fire into Terra Water Scizor, does 20 to 24. Draco Meteor should still kill probably, so just Encore Draco. I just Psychic and Draco into Bellibolt again, because that should KO. Although I can always do some calcs. Level 50. Hydreigon, Draco did less than that, so maybe it's AV. That looks like AV, no? Leftovers. What if it's Assault Vest? Yeah, that's an AV. So if I do now, if I'm -2 special attack, gonna do 22. So that's and then now if I take my Indeedee Psychic 22, 34, that should KO, assuming both hit. Hopefully. Yes. Okay. Got the KO. Scizor is back in. I want to protect and then bring Dawnfan in. Because, I mean, like, a close combat isn't crazy here. Honestly, a Psychic into Pow Pow and then bringing in Dawnfan, I think, is the best move. Although, wait. Let me check damages. Psychic, and now Scizor. Level 50. In Psychic Terrain only does... Oh, but it's Terra Water, which... Now it's doing 65 to 70. And then... Hydreigon. Draco. At -4. Is still doing enough to KO, so Psychic Draco into the Scizor. Only bad thing would be a Protect from Scizor here. Or a miss from Draco would be pretty bad as well. Yeah, a miss from Draco would be pretty bad as well, for sure. I don't think the crit shouldn't have mattered. Leech Seed is annoying. So now I just Psychic, Tea-Time, switch into Dawnfan. Because if it protects, then I just Encore it, and I'm in a good position. And then I get my Hydreigon back in. I can get my Hydreigon back in with Reset Special Attack. It puts me in a really good position. Yeah, this is just good for me. Oh, Cursed Body is kind of annoying. Oh, the miss is huge. So now I can Terra Grass, Encore. Oh no. Huh. So I have no way now of hitting Tea-Time. I can protect Terra Grass, Fissure, Fissure the Rosetta. Or I can just switch out. Yeah, I'm going to switch out Terra Grass, Fissure, Rosetta. Giga Drain. Okay. Fissure Miss. Shadow Ball. So now I Draco into Tea-Time. Fissure into Rosetta again. Because Draco should... Well, let me see. Hydreigon versus Poltegeist. Level 50. Draco should do enough. Snarl also says it should do enough. What got it? What did... Psychic did 44%. So if I go to Indeedee, Psychic only did 44, so it has to be HP invested at least. So then to be safe, I want a Draco and Fissure Rosetta. Okay. Fissure hits, I get the game one. GG. Okay, well, that's game one. Let me upload and share replay. Copy. Okay. Now time for game two. So, now I'm in an even better position for turn one because I can expect the Terra Water from Scizor and the Iron Head. So I like the same lead. I don't think I want to change anything at all because I don't know what they do. Do they know I'm Choice Scarfed? I don't think they know because Salamence didn't come, and Salamence is the only one that's faster than it naturally. And I didn't outspeed anything with Hydreigon that I wasn't supposed to, so they don't know I'm Scarfed. Um, yet, which is a really good position for me to be in. That's really nice. Um, but yeah, Flutter and DD is good, and Dawnfan, Hydreigon in the back is also good for me. Because Orthworm doesn't like crumble into what they've brought, I don't think. But it's not doing the most either. Turns out Hydreigon I haven't had much success with it all season, but that game it was totally the MVP. It crushed it for me. I think I need to respect it more. I wasn't putting the respect on his name. He has a really good Pokemon, huh? I guess that's why I drafted it second. Or like the second Pokemon I drafted on my team. Um, so yeah, Indeedee still really good because Psychic Terrain, I don't think they have a good way of dealing with it. Cloyster doesn't get Cloyster doesn't get Ice Spinner, does it? It does get Ice Spinner, so it can remove it if they brought Ice Spinner on Cloyster, which would be a really cool tech. I think they should have it. He should have brought Cloyster Ice Spinner. Um, but it's totally possible he didn't. So what moves did they bring? I have no idea what the Bellibolt is. Leech Scene, Giga Drain, Body Press, Iron Head. So Bellibolt though, I'm assuming it's AV. Maybe it's just max HP, max special defense, or something. But maybe it's not. I wonder what Salamence is then. Life Orb is open for Salamence. Maybe it's an anti-Tauros tech with like um, something I don't know. So this is interesting. I think I just Terrafire Moonblast into Salamence. Um, and Hyper Voice, maybe? Or Protect? Protect is good because it hmm, yeah, Protect is good. Psychic is also good because I could imagine them doubling Flutter. But if they do, are they really doing something that beats Terrifier Moonblast into Salamence? Probably not. Maybe it's Focus Sash Salamence though. Maybe I should Hyper Voice or Psych. I have Sash. I don't really want to be playing super safe with it. Um, I think I want a Hyper Voice. Okay. Iron Head. Yep. Okay. Citrus Berry. Okay. Tailwind. Oh no. Um, I did not expect the Tailwind coming out of Scizor at all. Terrifier, Salamence. The question is, do they have a move that can KO Flutter? Protect, Psychic into Pow Pow, maybe? Because I'm not doing anything into... Eh. Let's see. Let's do a damage calc. Indeedee versus Salamence. So wait, first let's go Flutter. Let's make sure it's not anything weird. Mystical Fire into Salamence, level 50. No, Moonblast, but it's Terra Steel. Moonblast should do 39. So it is at least HP invested. Let's say 252. It's and special defense invested, like 100. That fits. Although it would have been a low roll. What is it? There's no way it's 252. 252. I mean, that fits in it. It could be 252. 252. Um, so now, what if I do Indeedee? Psychic, even in psychic terrain, is doing nothing. Although, how much is Mystical Fire doing? 50. It's still not doing enough. So if I protect... Oh. Dual Wing Beat into Flutter, and X Scizor into Indeedee. Does Dual Wing Beat KO Flutter? Yeah, it does. Yeah, Terrifier. Yeah, it KOs Flutter. So I can't let it go down like that. I think I'm going to switch in the Dawn Fan. And then Psychic the Pow Pow. So if I just Earthquake Protect now, they have to double the Dawn Fan, which they probably don't want to do. And it's a really, yeah, Earthquake Protect I think is the obvious move. Because it's Terra Steel, obviously, is going to be doing a ton. It should just, I mean, I don't even really want to check. Yeah, it obviously KOs. So what do I need to be worried about? Dual Wing Beat's not doing a lot. Iron Head's probably not going to do a lot, although it will do some. Maybe a flinch would be really bad. Obviously, I need to be worried about Tailwind getting set up next turn. Uh, maybe if they double into the Dawn Fan, it dies. Although it depends on the Scizor set. Did they double the Dawn Fan? They did. Oh, and it dies. Oh, that's horrible. But now I can bring back in the Flutter. Mystical Fire. So I'm actually not. So okay. Let's say Scizor, level 50, -1 special defense against Indeedee. Psychic should KO. Oh. Okay. So now I'm in kind of a bad position. Because I'm not getting the KO off onto the Salamence without Belly. Oh, but I'm not scared of Bellibolt. So Mystical Fire into Salamence and Psychic into Bellibolt, I think is the correct move. Like I'm not that scared of Bellibolt. Mystical Fire, and then maybe Protect, actually. So that way, if Bellibolt does something to Flutter, I don't think even Charge. No, Charge it'll probably KO. It's kind of a yikes situation. So maybe it's Protect, Psychic. Okay, so is Salomon switching out here? I think it depends. I think there's a chance it does. It does belly kill KO. Bellibolt. Oh, Flutter Mane. Bellibolt level 50. Even Terrifier. Moonblast. Well, but it's AV Bellibolt, right? Yeah. So Assault Vest. I don't get to KO it without doubling it. But now let's just, so if it's charged, Electromorphosis, how do I get that it's charged? I don't know how to do that on this calculator. I should have checked that out. Uh, let's just say it's the same as Terra Electric. It shouldn't be doing enough to KO. So I will Mystical Fire, Salamence, and Psychic Bellibolt. Sucker Punch is really weird. Okay. Fun though. Hydreigon's comes in. Cloyster's here. So Cloyster, and now Hydreigon, Draco Meteor, and then Flutter. Moonblast. I'm gonna double the thing, and then Draco into the count. Moonblast and Draco. The problem with Draco is then Scizor gets to just Bullet Punch, right? Because I'm assuming it has Bullet Punch. Maybe it won't. Moonblast, Draco, and yeah, Draco's the only. Oh, it's because it's level. I said to level 100. Oh my god. Now let's see Flutter Mane. Moonblast KOs it for sure. Yeah, Moonblast is always going to KO it. The only thing is if it's sashed. So Snarl then? No, I want it to be Flamethrower. What if I protect and then Flamethrower the count? Protect. No, I've got to KO it because of Icicle Spear into Hydreigon. Or does Hydreigon, Draco KOs? How much does Flamethrower do? It could KO depending on what it is. Yeah, and I need Protect for next turn, so I double it. I just Moonblast Flamethrower into it. Oh my god, the burn is insane. Oh my god, what a lucky burn. It's faster than Flutter. That's crazy, by the way. Does that mean it's Scarf? I have to just Flamethrower. Um, that has to be Scarf, right? Yeah, it's Scarf. Yeah, of course it's Scarf. So it's Scarf, Bullet Punch. Yep, okay. GG. So it goes to a game 3. So now it's interesting. He revealed speed control on Scizor, which means I need to be careful. But I don't think the Pokemon were the problem. I think now knowing that Scizor has Tailwind, my main focus should be on, and it has no Protect, by the way. Scizor has Iron, yeah, Tailwind, X Scissor, Iron Head, Bullet Punch. Uh, Now I can go Hydreigon. I think all the Pokemon are right. I think all the Pokemon I brought were right. So now I know that this is Scarf, so I can Cloyster is Scarf, so I can always let me grab the replay. Um, oh, this is close. But yeah, I don't think the Drift Limb's important here. I wonder if Cloyster was set to just outspeed Flutter, and the fact that Hydreigon is set to outspeed Flutter matters. Um, if it is, that's really exciting. But yeah, this is the set. Uh, Hopefully, Dawnfan will get to do more this time. Obviously, it kind of sucked that it came in and just died, especially with Indeedee protecting next to it. But they made the read right. They understood Dawnfan was a huge threat, and Indeedee was not really. But I could have played around it. I think I could have psychicked. I could have. There was stuff I could have done. It's not a shock that his team is super specially defensive as well, but it is what it is. These are my best Pokemon. I gotta live with it. Um, would it be easier if I had a Chi-Yu or something to lower their special defenses? I should have brought Psyshock probably instead of Psychic on Indeedee, and maybe even on Flutter I should have brought Psyshock, but then I don't know what I'm dropping. I'm not dropping Moonblast. I'm never dropping Shadow Ball, and I'm never and I the Flamethrower or the Mystical Fire is good because I'm always going to be Terrafire. Okay, let's see what happens. Scizor, Cloyster. Okay, so I think I'm fine protecting and psychicking the Cloyster. Because if they get Tailwind up, I don't think it's the end of the world. And I could get a Terra out of Scizor. And if I do, that's really big. And I know that the Count can't protect. And I would expect it to want to KO Flutter. So it might even, if it has Hydro or like a Liquidation or something, could totally end up going into Flutter, expecting a Terrafire. And oh, something like a Liquidation and like a double up into Flutter here makes total sense because the Iron Head and the Liquidation both into Flutter, maybe even with a Terra on Scizor's end, would be huge. The one good thing about having Psychic instead of Psyshock is now Cloyster's defenses are obviously much higher than its special defenses, so Psychic into it is quite good. There's the concern that it like switches or something into Wochien, which would then it wouldn't matter. That I'm Psychicking it because it's Dark type. Scizor, I obviously have to be concerned about a Tailwind. Oh, it does. I do get the Terra off. Ice Spear, perfect. Psychic into. Oh, and it KOs. That's amazing. Tailwind. Okay. Salamence. Uh, I want to save the Flutter here for sure. Uh, Dawnfan into Psychic on the. I could Mystical Fire. Well, no. Obviously, it's not. Yeah, I want to save the Flutter here because now I have something. It'll beat the Salamence. So switching in Dawnfan because it's just not as important as other things here. And then Psychicking the. Uh, do I Psychic the Salamence or the Scizor? I think the Scizor. I think the Scizor is a bigger threat. Dual Wing Beat, whatever. Iron Head, okay. Ice Shard into Salamence. Psychic, the Scizor. I could even Protect, but no, I want a Psychic. Although, because Scizor, does it ever KO? No, because Ice Shard is always going to go off. Ice Shard Protect is a real move here. Because they might dual Wing Beat into the Indeedee, knowing that Scizor will kill the Donphan. So the Ice Shard is just good. Huge damage. Okay, no, they didn't. So I should have just Psychicked into the Scizor. Moxie. Okay, obviously, yes, I knew that. Flutter. I'm protecting. It's obvious, but I have to. And now I Psychic into the Scizor. I shouldn't have. Oh, shit. I shouldn't have protected with Indeedee last turn. That's a pretty big deal. Does Scizor has Bullet Punch? Yes. But if they don't attack the Flutter, then like they know I should protect here. I know I should protect here. I'm going to protect here though. Dragon Dance, okay. That's a pretty big deal. But Indeedee survives. Now I still have Psychic Terrain up, and the Bellibolt comes out. Do I double the Salamence? I think I do. I think I Moonblast and I Psychic the Salamence. Maybe either kills. I don't know though. I don't really want to check, to be honest. Because I don't know if there's anything that changes this move that I do. Because I always have to try to take out the Salamence. I'm not going for a double protect. Oh, it lives. Oh, that's GG. Terra Poison, Snarl, maybe, but it's over. Yeah, I think it's over. That will protect with the Indeedee really screwed me. I think. Oh, this is a tough way to lose the season. Because, oh, maybe I am faster actually? Still? I don't think so, but it's possible. Let me see. Hydreigon, Salamence. How much is Snarl? Snarl might not KO. And I don't really want to risk it. Oh, it's level 50. Maybe I just have to Draco until I lose. What does Bellibolt have? Thunderbolt and Sucker Punch is all I know. Draco, Terra Poison, Draco. Nope, I don't. Oh my god, I miss. Oh, I miss. Are you kidding? That's heartbreaking. I don't think it matters because I think I probably lose anyways. GG. What is that? Oh my god. But I don't know now. I will never know. Let me see how much it does to do the belly again. Bellibolt, level 50. I shouldn't have Terra Poison there, by the way. Dragon is good because it lets me resist the Thunderbolt. But Draco, Meteor. No. What the heck? I don't know why I'm giving it Draco Meteor. I want to give this Assault Vest. Yeah, I probably lose long term anyways. Nah, maybe I don't. I think I win if I hit that. Um, team sheet. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I think we're gonna end up talking. Um, jeez, that's so sad. Okay. Hey. Oh, I can't hear you. Give me a second. Hello?
I'm just checking your levels myself.
Okay. Tell me if there's an echo.
I have no echo. I think you're. I'm happy with how you sound.
Okay, perfect. You sound good to me too.
You sound great. You have a lovely voice.
Thank you, thank you. You do as well.
I gotta say that might be the best set I've played all season.
For me, it totally was. It was totally the best set, most fun. I have to. So, what does a? I need your Bellibolt set specifically because I want to know if I hit that, if there's even a chance I win.
I think that the belly bolt always wins. It's what do you think it is?
It's
Here,
a.
I sent you the paste.
I think it's AV.
It's AV.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Draco.
think that.
So let me. What's its?
Do you have Dark Pulse?
I do not have Dark Pulse.
Wow, wow! You're gonna love my Teatame set.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Let me. I just have to do this calc really quick. Bellibolt
Yeah, I
with.
think and the dragon dance. I was so unsure about the dragon dance, and I figured out that that was the way to win game 3.
Yeah, it totally was. You were. There was a super smart dragon dance there, and it's super smart to bring it.
The Moxie Ments, I almost went. I don't think that non Moxie Ments kills the Indeedee. It has to be +1 to kill the Indeedee, I think, with the
Uh.
dual wing beat.
Oh. Maybe. I'm actually not sure about that. Indeed, is
I
kind
hit
of.
67. I hit like 67 and then kill with the double wing beat because I
Mhm.
had to be dual wing beat to
Oh.
I knew that the scarf was somewhere.
Yeah.
This the prep came through more than ever in this set for
Yeah, I
me.
agree. Wait. Let me send you my team. You have the replays,
Yeah.
right? I think I have
Yeah,
them.
they're actually I messaged them to us so we wouldn't lose them.
Perfect. But let me send you my team sheet as well. Uh,
Oh, I needed the dual wing beat to kill the flutter. Oh, my reads into your flutter were how I won that game.
yeah, I was really. I knew there was a good chance that you knew I was going to protect a couple of times, but I felt like I had to anyways. I just didn't want to risk the season on a read like that.
hmm
On reading that you would read me, but I should have. I totally should have.
And the turn 1 terras also.
Yeah, that was fun. It
Yeah.
really gave you game two or game one was really obviously huge for you. Even if you didn't end up winning, the Terra Water Scissor was big.
You like the Iron Head?
Yes, I literally I said it in my video where I was like, I assume that Bullet Punch is the only move, only steel move that Scizor has that you brought, but maybe I'm wrong about that. And if I am, that's really bad. And it was really bad. Uh,
Because I did most of my prep expecting um a Flutter and DD lead. Um
really,
I I will say that I mean you could see that I was ready for it. Um
yeah,
um I will say that a big part of my prep was crossing my fingers that Flutter wasn't max speed timid. Um
yeah, it
because
was not.
so I think the most important turn of this entire set was turn one of the last turns of game 2 where it was Scarf Cloister versus Scarf Hydreigon,
Hmm.
and I I feel like I knew you were high Scarf Hydreigon. I wasn't calculating for specs, but you were clearly choiced
Hmm. Right.
after game 1. And I'm like, man, that Hydreigon's faster than my Cloister. It's gonna kill me, and I'm gonna lose this game. And I was resigned to losing that game. And Cloister not dying, it has like it's just max with the Force Spadef.
Yeah.
Um, but the big thing about that turn was seeing that Flutter was slower than Cloister. And I'm like, if I make it to game 3, this is the information that I need to win.
Wait, so is Scarf Cloister not faster than Max
No,
Speed
it
Flutter?
only hits 201 speed.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, I oh no. Uh
Yeah, there was no Trailblaze Wochian that could get over it.
mhm,
A lot of my numbers. So the Scizor and the Wochian hit 103 and 104 speed respectively, which means that under Tailwind they're faster than Flutter.
mhm.
And that was because games 2 and 3 I clicked on Tailwind and it was really good.
Yeah.
Um, and Salamence is 138 speed, which at +1 is faster than max speed Flutter,
One th- oh, okay. Yeah,
right?
that makes sense.
And just like if you brought max speed Flutter, not even max speed Booster. If you brought Booster speed Flutter, I'm very different plans.
Mhm.
But if you brought max speed Flutter versus Booster speed Flutter versus not max speed Flutter, super different game plans. Completely different game plans I had.
Yeah.
Um,
I thought
tell me
about
about tell me about your team. This team's wild.
yeah, so I thought about Max Speed Flutter, but I really in the end I came down to one, I don't think Iron Moth is going to show up. But if it does, I'm not that scared of it. So I don't
Good
really
call.
need to be faster than Iron Moth. I just need to be faster than Max Speed Salamence because it's going to like if it's important that it doesn't die to Salamence without getting a move off, and it should be able to KO Salamence assuming no Terra.
What are
Um,
you EV'd for? A lot of defense.
the defense, the idea was to beat Jolly Salaman's Ironhead, um,
Interesting.
because I thought
Because I,
you were probably Jolly because or like boosting speed,
but
and
the Moxie.
I didn't consider Moxie, but even if
I,
you, yeah, yeah, so that's what the defense is for. My Indeedee is just max special attack and then speed to outspeed the base 70s. Um,
Game 1 that Encore into the Teatame was so bad for me.
yeah, yep.
I was clicking Trick Room there, obviously.
Yeah, no. I figured you were gonna click something I didn't want to happen, probably Trick Room, and so Encore into Protect was good.
Yuck.
Um,
What's this Don fan though?
the Dawn fan, yeah, it's weird. Um, the basic idea was AV is good into your team. Earthquake is good with my team, and good into some of your Pokemon that you're bringing, and any
Earthquake is
Terra
really good
Steels.
with your team. Wow, no
And
kidding.
Ice Shard for Salamence, and then Fissure, Terra Grass for Wochien. Uh,
Wow, and so Electric helped me build this week, and this citrus berry on the Salamence was super
it
relevant.
was so
Like
huge. Oh, it was such a big deal.
I know, like it's hard to quantify, but on turn 2 of game 3, or I guess game 4, or turn 3, you hit me with this ice shard, and
Mhm.
then I don't die,
Nope,
and
you
then
live
I live, and then I heal, and then later you hit me again with some psychic or something, and I
7
don't
HP.
die at 7.
7%. Yeah, no, I remember. I remember there was because if I get that psychic off, this is game 3, right? We're talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah, if I get that psychic off, then I'm not. I think I have a much better chance to win, assuming no Hydreigon miss. Um, but
I think that Bellibolt 1v1's your Hydreigon.
it doesn't do much damage to it. I'm looking at the calcs. It does like 10% a Thunderbolt.
I did 27 to kill you.
Yeah.
Oh, but you don't have to Terra Poison.
Yeah. I don't have to. I didn't. I shouldn't have Terra poisoned anyways. Uh,
Uh,
but that was a mistake. But it does 20% actually. So I'm.
And then after you hit me, I'm doing 40.
Oh right, because of Parabol. Yeah, you definitely win the 1v1 then, assuming no crit.
Yeah, especially like I just don't. That was part of my plan, is that I don't think that this Hydreigon can beat my Bellibolt.
Yeah.
I almost Dragon Danced on the last turn with Salamence.
Really? That would have been.
Well, because if you expect the protect, because you had seen protect at that point. If I protect and you hit belly bolt, then I'm sad.
Yeah, but
Um,
I couldn't afford to
then I'm
let.
like, I'm plus 2 point. I'm plus a bunch, so I'm
Mhm.
fine.
Yeah, I just didn't want to let you get a free Salamence move off. Like I lose that, but I lose
Yeah,
no matter what. Basically, I was fishing for crits, but
I agree, and I think you played your outs, and I think that was fantastic. Tell me about why'd you bring Earthworm into me? I was calling no Earthworm, and for a while I was calling no Drifblim.
uh,
Who did you bring?
because I was not convinced you were gonna bring moves to beat Orthworm. Really, like I basically what I see is like, and I think I was actually right about that. Looking at your team mostly, because I thought there was going to be no Iron Moth, and then your
The plan
Scizor.
for Earthworm is to kill it with Bellibolt or Wochian.
Yeah, but that still
And
takes. I mean, Wochian it probably loses to unless it has Terra.
and then we bonk each other with body presses into our Terra poisons
Yeah,
until the end game.
um, but at least like the idea is Orthworm has. And maybe I could get a Shed Tail off to help protect a Flutter because it's slower. It might the substitute might be really important. Um,
Mm,
but it ended up I never thought it being the best Pokemon there. I kind of just needed a sixth slot, so I wasn't sure what to do with it. And Orthworm seemed like it would be useful sometimes. Uh, and I
yeah.
wasn't confident about Azumarill being useful more often or anything really.
Yeah, wild. I was expecting Crocolore, Azumarill, and I was half calling the Tauros.
Crocalor. That's interesting. Why did you think Crocalor was coming?
I'm just scared of him, man. Oh, because I lost. Because I lost. If you watch my game in Tsukaba, he goes, "Here's my Skeledirge Terragrass," and I just put my hands up and lost the game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think that Crocolore can do the same thing to me. I'm actually Lumberry on Scizor, which I don't think was relevant at all.
No, because I don't have a Will-O-Wisp. I don't have any status moves on
Yeah.
my team.
I think I should have. I think in my prep I said that this Scizor should have been Akaberry. Um,
Definitely should have. Yeah, that would have.
and and Electric convinced me that Lumberry was correct, and I think it was still fine. Turns out that Terra Water's good because I Terra Watered him twice.
Yeah, you did. The game two, right? Yeah, or game
Game
three.
two I did. Game two I did Salamence.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if in game two. Speaking of Salamence, I wasn't sure if the if you would double up on Donphan, and if you did, if that would KO. Um, but it did.
I pretty immediately figured out that the Donphan was Assault Vest, and that I was after Tailwind, I was threatening the Indeedee. So I think at least twice in this set, I'm like, oh, I'm in Tailwind. I'm faster than you. Indeedee is going to protect. Donphan can't. I will kill the Donphan.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Well,
happened twice in this set.
game three, because the second time was in game three, right? I think I adapted and I didn't. The turn where you got
Something happened.
Donphan, I think I did still do a move with Ndidi, but it didn't matter because I needed Donphan to survive.
Yeah.
Ndidi wasn't doing that much at that point, um,
Oh.
so it was still correct to hit the Don.
Oh. The
Um,
Scizor, your psychic into Scizor, in my head, the calc was all over the place. Because in one game you hit me and it did 30, the other game you hit me did 60. I'm like, what's happening? I terrored and I had lost my psychic resistance.
yeah, that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Mm.
Game three, I don't think I've ever sacrificed a Mon for Tailwind before. But I did it and I said, you know, this is fine, and I did it and it was fine. It worked.
Yeah, I was really. I thought about hitting the Scizor to make sure Tail wouldn't get up, especially since I knew it didn't have Protect. But I thought there's a good chance you liquidation me with
Did Scizor get
or,
liquidation?
or no with Cloyster because I'm pretty sure Terra if I don't Terra Fire I die to Icicle Spear, and if I do Terra Fire then I would die to Liquidation. So I
Mm-hmm.
was kind of in a tough position with the Cloyster being on the field. So I decided to go for what I thought was the safer play and protect, but I knew there was a chance you get Tailwind up, and then I'm just kind of screwed.
And I
Um,
think you're super right. And I think I had to hit the flutter main there. I think I had no choice. I think you and I were both playing that same game, and I'm like, I have to either force the Terra or um or run into the protect and then get the tailwind.
yeah, but I think what you really did is you forced me into a position. I think that setup on turn one forces me into a 50-50, and I tried to opt out, and opting out just loses me the game. Like, not
Yeah.
necessarily, but it puts me in a losing position. Um, and I should have just opted into the 50-50, knowing that it was my best out, even if it feels bad.
Mhm.
Um, because if I had Terra fired and Mystical fired Scizor, because did Scizor Terra Water there? It
Yes.
didn't. It did Terra Water there. Oh, so that would have been wrong anyways. Um, it's
No, and
really
I almost didn't. If you watch back the video, I'll be like, I actually clicked, I said in the thing, and I'm like, I don't need the Terra here. And then I said, if he just hits me and then hits me, I'm sad. Or if he protects and hits me or something, and um,
yeah.
if I don't, like, there was a world where I'm just really sad if I don't Terra. So the Terra was just a safe move.
Let's. What's your Scizor set again? It is what's its special defense? 252
44 max
HP.
HP.
I have so many tabs open. I've lost where.
Me too. I did a lot of calcs with the scissor. Honestly, I was expecting you to EV your Fluttermane to live the bullet punch and that I would get the kill with the Iron Heads. I'm like, haha. But
Yeah.
that's a little
Oh,
stronger.
I could not live the bullet punch from Scizor.
Yeah, and then that's that. Then I'm like, okay, he's not gonna care, and I kept dropping my attack, and honestly, this is a really supportive scissor, and it was super. It was a star.
It was huge. Yeah, Mystical Fire and Psychic. Yeah, that never fails. Okay. So even if I doubled up and done Mystical Fire, oh, actually wait, Flutter,
No, there are
Terrafire.
ways that it goes bad for me, but remember that Cloister is actually the fastest thing on the field right now. So
Yeah.
um, you've got to thread the needle through all of my options too.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is I think I had to opt into the 50-50 of dying to the Cloister with the
Yeah,
Liquidation or Icicle Spear, especially knowing it's choice because then if I don't die, then I'm in a really good position for the next turn, especially if Tailwind doesn't go up. But
yeah.
either way, it was a really good set. You played really well. Uh,
You
it's
too, man.
definitely my favorite set of the season, even if it's the one where I go out. Good luck to you in your coming playoff games.
And side note, like, thank you for all of the help building my teams over the season. Like, you and I have built a lot of stuff together.
Yeah,
We've had a lot of conversation, and I've really appreciated you, like, working with you as a player. You are a fantastic person to play and work with.
yeah, you too. Thanks so much. It's been a ton of fun and really helpful to talk to you over the course of the season. Yeah,
I will be asking your opinion for my future playoff games.
I am happy to help. I'm rooting for you the rest of the way.
All right. Talk to
Okay,
you later.
talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so that's the video. I have lost. I will be doing a season review, going over some of the stuff that I've learned over the course of the season, some of the stuff I've done poorly, some of the stuff I've done well, and a and a draft re-review. I don't know if that'll be one video or two, um, but I will. I'm just trying to put a bookmark on the season now that it's over. I've really loved my first season in the VBL-S. Hopefully, I'll be around for more. Because it's been a ton of fun, and I do really enjoy the game and the people here and the community. Um, and I'm excited to see what happens next season. Thanks for watching.